Welcome everyone to the Los Altos High School on the camp in Los Altos, California, where tonight it's the Los Altos Eagles, winners of 10 in a row, coming into 3-0 in conference play, host the Monta Vista Matadors from Cupertino, who also come in undefeated in conference play at 2-0. This should be a great contest, folks. I am Andrew Fury. Glad you could join me tonight, where for Monta Vista, they had struggled a little bit in the non-conference, going only 5-6. But have really started strong in conference with wins over Homestead 54-39 and at Cupertino 31-25 in a very defensive battle. For Los Altos, they have won 10 in a row coming in, and they have been on a real roll. They went 8-3 out of conference, but after starting 0-3, or make that 1-3, they won 7 straight in the non-conference, 10 straight overall. Their wins in conference: 47-46 at Santa Clara, 36-29 against Fremont, and 43-40 at Saratoga. So, very good team here for Los Altos against an undefeated team in Monta Vista. KMVT Sports would like to thank our All Sports presenting sponsor, the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, part of the Sutter Health Network. Choose your PAMF doctor today. Starting lineups are still being announced, and Los Altos is the home team in their home white uniforms with blue numerals and trim. And starting on one guard is number 3, Meg Enthoven, and Kelly Hamamoto at the other guard. The forwards are Katie Monroe and Rachel Glane, and at center is Megan McDermott. Those are the 5 starters for Los Altos. You'll see the 2 Jennings start for Monta Vista, along with Pachori, Kamakashi Pachori, and Kaisa Rattanen. So both teams about to come out on the court for the start of the game. This should be a fun one here from Los Altos High School tonight. Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday night, January the 21st. One of these teams will get their first conference loss tonight. Will it be Monta Vista or Los Altos? That's about to be determined in the next hour and a half or so. The 5th starter I didn't mention for Monta Vista is out there, number 33, Pranuthi Kanaganti. So Monta Vista in the road purple and gold uniforms against Los Altos in the home white uniforms with blue numerals and trim. It'll be McDermott jumping center against Christina Jennings. And first we have a whistle. And the tip is won by Monta Vista. We're underway. This is Stephanie Jennings, and her pass is swung around to Christina Jennings, who goes up and fouled. So the Jennings sisters work on the interior to open up this game. I believe the foul is going to go on Katie Monroe, and it will, her first team foul in the half. Just 7 seconds in, Los Altos already commits a foul. Jennings' first free throw is around and out. Normally a pretty good foul shooting team are the Matadors. Still looking for first points of the game. And it's up and around and out. Missed both of them. Rebound loose, deflected out. And they're going to say it was last touch by Rattanen. Oh, no. They said blue, but are awarding it to purple. Maybe the ref is colorblind. I don't know. It is Matador basketball, though. And here's Jennings. Jennings cross court to her sister. Into the paint, floats one up with the left hand and gets it to go for Stephanie Jennings. And it's 2-0 early. Matadors press. Setting up their press, cross court, something both these teams like to feature. Here's Monroe. Over to Hamamoto. High post, McDermott had it poked away and taken away by Kanaganti. Kanaganti now gives it to their starting point guard, Jackie Lee. And Lee misses on the right wing. Rebound down to Enthoven. Up ahead, here's Monroe. Monroe in on the defender. Goes up, gets blocked, and it goes out of bounds. It's a last touch by Jennings. It will still be Los Altos basketball. Off this fast break opportunity, Monroe took it in, and she might have been better served to pass it to one of her teammates on that fast break. They definitely had numbers, but they missed an opportunity there. Here's Monroe at Hamamoto. Enthoven open for three, and that gets wedged in the side of the backboard. So jump ball, possession arrow, should be Los Altos basketball. You'll see, this is something that's hard to do if you try to do it. And Enthoven did it right there on a three-point opportunity. Now normally, this situation results in a jump ball. Initially, the referee pointed to Monta Vista, but they won the jump ball, so it should be Los Altos basketball, and that's the way they have it going now. Inbound goes Monroe. Looking, still looking, and lobs it into Hamamoto. Back to Monroe. Monroe holds. Drives baseline in on Jennings and stepped out of bounds. Turnover Los Altos, 6:51 left first quarter. Here's Jackie Yee into the front court. Yee with it. Bounding the dribble against Hamamoto. Jennings falls down in the right wing, and then having it poked away was Yee. Back comes Yamamoto all the way and gets fouled. So Hamamoto will be at the line, shooting two. First foul on Monta Vista here, and it is called on Jackie Yee. After the steal, it was a great job, though, of Yee getting back defensively and fouling Hamamoto, making her earn 2 free throws. Instead of just too often you see a team or a person running back in transition defense fouling the person and letting them score, which is the worst thing to do in that situation. Either let them go, or if you know they're not a good foul shooter and you're not in foul trouble, foul them and don't let them get too off. So because of that foul by Yee, they gain a point as Monta Vista. It's 2-1 after Hamamoto split free throws. Yee bouncing at high post. Good catch by Jennings, but she travels. That is Stephanie Jennings that caught the ball and then stepped through and traveled. But they do get to set up what looks like a 1-3-1 press with extended trapping principles. Hamamoto picks it up. Worst thing to do against trapping pressure, but they break it relatively easily. Here is Monroe over to Enthoven. Monroe on the return feed from Hamamoto. Hamamoto open for three. Back rim, no. Rebound loose underneath, and it is a jump ball called. It will go over to Monta Vista on the possession arrow. So neither team able to find the basket much at all here recently or in the game. Under 6 minutes to play, 2-1 in favor of Monta Vista. There's Yee pounding the dribble. In the left elbow, Jennings gets it back to Yee. Over three for Kumangantan, and that misses. Rebound deflected out off of Enthoven and will stay with Monta Vista. Los Altos hasn't been very secure on the boards in this game so far. It will be Monta Vista ball, and they're telling the shot clock operator to reset the shot clock, which finally happened. They get it into Kanagati for three. Way short, an air ball, but a rebound to Jennings. Here's Christina Jennings over to Yee. Yee pounding right wing. Over to Kanagati. High post, here is Stephanie Jennings. Jennings pounding the dribble into the paint all the way. Layup, no good. It was contested well, rebound out to Glenn. And they headman it up at Enthoven, who looked like she got fouled. No fouls called. It's going to be Los Altos basketball out of bounds. Los Altos was looking for a foul as it appeared that Enthoven got mauled, but a lot of contact goes uncalled there. Not exactly sure how that wasn't a foul, but Los Altos keeps it, and an early indication is these refs are going to let them play. Inbound to Hamamoto. Hamamoto pounds, pass, deflected around, out of bounds. It will be Monta Vista ball. 5:09 first quarter. We are still in a 2-1 game. We might have less points than the 31-25 score last time out for Monta Vista. For keeping track at home, that's 56 combined points. very low total for a high school basketball game. A pump fake and a good move by Rautelin, but she traveled first. One referee signaled a foul, the other signaled travel, and the baseline referee had the call that time. So Enthoven will inbound. Again, we have 3 combined points almost halfway into this first quarter. Hamamoto over to Monroe. Monroe to Hamamoto. Breaks the press in the front court with McDermott. McDermott bounces to Hamamoto, who had it blocked to make that Monroe, but McDermott has it back. McDermott, floater in the lane, short. Rebound, loose, underneath, still fighting for it. It comes to Monroe. Here's Glain. Glain had it poked away. Swung around. Monroe, McDermott, pump fakes, drives baseline, had it blocked, but then a foul's called on the body bump. And it will be Megan McDermott to the line, shooting 2. Just good hustle offensively here for the Eagles as McDermott drove baseline and definitely contact there, although surprisingly enough, there was less contact on that play than the previous play that didn't go with a foul. First free throw was good. And the rebound is missed, and it's rebounded by Rautelin. Rautelin, now here's Jennings. Jennings, and her pass to no one in particular, stolen. And on the attack, feeding Hamamoto. Hamamoto sidesteps, jumper is good, and Los Altos quickly has their first field goal of the game. On Kelly Hamamoto's jumper, it's 4-2. Into the front court goes Yee. Yee crosses over. In on Hamamoto, goes up and gets blocked, and a foul. Foul will be on Hamamoto. I believe that's her second already in the first quarter. Here's Jackie Yee driving baseline and a clear hack over the top by Hamamoto, who it is only her first. An earlier foul against her was changed to Katie Monroe. First free throw is good. Second free throw here for Yee. Is around, spinning, no good. Rebound loose underneath, and McDermott had it, lost it. We have a foul called, I believe. No, a timeout called. Timeout called by Los Altos to save the possession as McDermott was down on the floor trying to cradle the basketball. They do save the possession with the timeout. 4 timeouts now left for Los Altos. All 5 for Monta Vista. 4-3 in favor of Los Altos. Very low scoring game with 3:48 left first quarter. Now back to the standings for ML Camino League. Monta Vista and Los Altos both undefeated. Los Altos comes in 3-0, Monta Vista 2-0, and then Saratoga comes up third in the standings so far at 3-1. Their only loss came earlier this year to Monta Vista. So head-to-head opportunity there for Monta Vista, and they would have the tiebreaker at the moment. Coming up, the bottom 2 are Cupertino at 1-3, and then Fremont at 0-3. Here's Los Altos against the full court pressure. Enthoven inbounds to Monroe. Back to Enthoven, who lobs it in the front court to Glain. Glain over to Rebecca Andrews, who's checked in for the first time. Gets it over to Hamamoto. Enthoven high post to Glain, who nearly had it ripped out of her hand, did, and it goes out of bounds off her leg. It will be Monta Vista basketball. A very close game, but the game has not had any flow whatsoever. Into the front court goes Jackie Yee. Yee over to Kenaganti. Back to Yee. Yee into the post to Rautelin, and she had it poked away and stolen. Enthoven then was fouled. And at the rate we're going, both teams will be shooting free throws pretty much the entire game. Enthoven out of bounds. That last foul is called on Christina Jennings. Hamamoto over to Enthoven. Good job breaking the press to McDermott. McDermott stops. Back to Hamamoto, who feeds cross court. Enthoven, Andrews. Hamamoto had it poked away, and they'll say it was a kicked ball, even though from here it looked like it hurt her knee, not her foot. Still 4-3 in favor of Los Altos. Inbound goes to McDermott. McDermott drives in the baseline all the way, had it poked away and stolen. Coming back is Jennings. Here's Christina Jennings. Stops, spins, looking. Throws up a wild shot that goes in, but a traveling violation is called. It'll be Los Altos basketball. Enthoven will inbound as the head coach for Monta Vista, Sarah Borelli, cannot believe the call. And then it's thrown away by Los Altos, steal by Ramtolin. Jennings gets it over to Yee. 2:40 left first quarter. Jackie Yee into the front court. Yee pounding the dribble. He stops, feeds in the block, pump fakes, splitting defenders and getting fouled was Stephanie Jennings, or make that Christina Jennings. And the foul's called on Meg Enthoven, her first. Third team foul in the half already on Los Altos. Jennings, who's 0 for 2 at the line so far tonight. Off the back rim, no good, so she's now 0 for 3 at the line. It's still 4-3 Los Altos. This has been a really weird game so far. 2:31 still left first quarter. Good. Making 1 of 2 was Christina Jennings. And now there's Glenn over to Hamamoto. We are tied at 4. Glenn in the front court. Lobs it to McDermott, who feeds out top to Andrews. Andrews pounding the dribble. Andrews against this now zone. 1-2-2 look for Monta Vista. Swung over to Enthoven for 3. Around and out, no good. Halfway down, Glenn the offensive rebound. Back to Hamamoto, a 3. Banked in for Kelly Hamamoto. It's 7-4, 1:55 left. Here's Yee. Yee out top to Jennings. Jennings driving, loses it out of bounds, turnover, Christina Jennings. Off the offensive rebound, best time to shoot a 3, I always say that, is off the offensive board, and Hamamoto was ready, fired it. I don't think she intended to hit that off glass, but it went in nonetheless. Enthoven will inbound. Here's Andrews. Here is Glenn. Glenn drives all the way, had it poked away, out of bounds off of Canaganti. It will still be Los Altos basketball. Checking in for the first time is Jackie K. Yee. There are 2 Jackie Yees on Monta Vista. One middle initial is K, one's middle initial is L. So I will be referring to those 2 players by their middle initial. Here is Andrews out top against the Zoe. L has the defense. Lobbing it to Glenn, who turns, spins, fires off glass, no good. McDermott the rebound, goes up, scores it, and she was fouled. McDermott will be at the line shooting 1. It's 9-4 Los Altos now. Andrews with the lob, and then Glenn forced up a wild shot. I didn't think that was a good shot, but 90% of shots are missed on the other side from where they were shot from. McDermott knew that, snuck him for the rebound and the 3-point play as she converts the free throw. It's a 6-0 Los Altos run, lead at 6. Last foul was on Stephanie Jennings, her first. Around the screen goes L. L into the paint, lobs it, a lot of contact, no call. Rebound to Andrews, lobs it up ahead on the fast break. Layup surrounded out, no good. Missing that was Allegra Mesa, and it's deflected out to Monta Vista. Big opportunity missed there by Mesa. Under a minute. Into the front court goes L. L stops for 3, around it out. They've had a couple shots do that exact same motion around the twine. Here's Enthoven, good pass to McDermott, who lays it in. 8-0 run, lead at 8. There's about an 8-second differential, shot clock and game clock. Shot clock is at 23 now, 30 seconds on the game clock and counting down. Jennings had her ripped away and stolen by McDermott. Up ahead, here's Enthoven, pushing in on L, and she got hacked. And Jackie L. Yee appears to be injured, grabbing at that ankle right after the foul on Enthoven, who will be shooting 2 free throws. See after steal, McDermott, a great lob ahead to Enthoven, and let's see where, if we couldn't really tell what happened on that play with that ankle. It was just a good hard foul, nothing dirty about the play, and for Jackie L. Yee, it will be her second foul, but their concern right now is over Jackie L. Yee. It looked, based on her reaction, like she just twisted an ankle, and it's nothing too serious, but having to be helped off over to the sideline. So Enthoven, after Yee is helped over to the sideline, will be shooting 2. 21.4 seconds left in the first quarter. A very long quarter in high school basketball. This, if she makes both, will give them a 10-point lead. First double-digit game of the year. And Enthoven, a very good foul shooter, makes the first. Good rotation, good form. See why she's an excellent foul shooter. Second free throw is around and down. So it is that 10-point lead for Los Altos, 14-4. The Matadors can hold for the final shot if they want to. Ball deflected out off of Andrews. It will stay with Monta Vista. Initially, they pointed Los Altos' way, but I was like, no way that's happening. That was obviously off of Los Altos. Oh, wait, they're giving it to Los Altos at the moment. No. Now they get it straightened out. I was like, that's about as obvious as it gets. And to inbound it, in for the first time is Ku Yi Im. Im with it right now. Im stops over to K. Jumper short. And rebounded by Andrews. Up ahead is Meso. Meso, good look to Enthoven. Layup, no good with the left hand. Rebound inside to Glane. And we have a jump ball with 0.2 of a second left. And possession will give it to Los Altos, but just 0.2 of a second to work with, and he cannot catch and shoot in that time frame. So it's going to have to be some sort of tip if they're going to get the shot off in time. For this inbound, we should be over, as it's inbounded to McDermott. Shot does not count. With only 0.2 of a second and the quarter is over. A long first quarter comes to an end, with Los Altos ending the quarter on a 10-0 run. After a quarter, it's 14-4 Eagles.
Ever since we moved to the United States, Palo Alto Medical Foundation has been taking care of our health. We love our doctor. She is always ready to listen to us and is very professional and answers all our questions and is very reassuring. PAMF has been there not just for my own family, but for the whole community, whether they're seeing patients or providing doctors for our free medical clinic.
Welcome back here to Los Altos High School, ready to start the second quarter. Matadors with the ball down by 10 as we begin the second 8 minutes. Hopefully this quarter will have a little better flow at the very least than the last quarter, which had next to none at best. Here's M inside to Rountelin, who had it poked away, and another turnover for the Matadors, and then we have a jump ball. Some more whistles. It might just be me, but it seems like we've had a whistle on absolutely every possession for something, either out of bounds, jump ball. We've had 8 fouls in that first quarter, so a lot of fouls. Just a sloppy game. But it looks great on the scoreboard if you're Los Altos. Up 10. Here's Andrews over to Meso. Good touch pass inside to Glane. Splits the double team out to Enthoven, open for 3. Way short and off the mark. Rebound tracked down. Glane tried to save it, but it goes out of bounds to the Matadors. 7:29 left in the first half. Into the front court goes in. Ku Yi Im. Dribbling left wing. Now here's into Rountelin. Rountelin pounds, goes up and scores it down low left with the right hand. Lead down to 8. First points, though, since the 4:51 mark of the first half, or first quarter make that. Here's Andrews. Over to Enthoven. Good feed inside to McDermott. Spins, goes up, off glass, missed it. Rebound loose underneath, and we have another jump ball. This time the Matadors will have it. I'm going to go on record and say at the rate we're going, if this keeps up, we're going to have a record. We need to call the Guinness Book of World Records and say the most jump balls in one high school basketball game. That's 6 to my count in 9 minutes of basketball being played. That's 2 every 3 minutes if you're keeping track at home. And we have a carry now by M bringing up the ball, so the backup point guard turns it over. For the Matadors, that's 7 turnovers now. And with 6:50 left in the half, it's 14-6. Low scoring affair here in Los Altos High School. Andrews lobs it to Monroe. Monroe holds back to Andrews. Andrews throws it to no one. Out of bounds, another turnover, and that's the type of play we've seen in this first half. It's amazing to say that one of these teams have lost a conference game yet this year with the first half we've seen. Into the front court goes M, dribbling right wing. Now here's E. Back to M, inside to Rantolin. Rantolin pump fakes. Rantolin had it poked away and stolen by Andrews. Andrews on the court, then nearly throws it away. Bodies fly everywhere. And Monroe back to Meso, and she lobbed up to Glane. Glane back to Andrews. Andrews hands off to Monroe. Monroe over to Meso. Meso to Andrews. Andrews stops, had it poked away and stolen. Another turnover. We've gone 5 consecutive possessions in this game with turnovers. Here's E. That's K, Yee. And here's M. Splitting the double team up and off glass and in. And we have points. It's 14-8. All 4 points of this game, or of this quarter, scored by the Matadors. Now an extended 1-2-2 trap, half-court trap. Andrews, cross-court to Monroe. Great job switching defenses here in the first half for Sarah Borelli. Driving is Andrews. Floats one up off back rim and gets it to go down for Rebecca Andrews, who's given them quality minutes off the bench. 16-8 Los Altos. Front court goes in. Over to Kenaganti. Kenaganti around the screen. Stops at the elbow. Up top to M. M nearly gets fouled. M drives. Baseline. Floats one up. Good. And she was fouled. Ku-Yi M. Basket will count. It's 16-10. Los Altos 5:13 left in the half. We'll try to check who the foul is on. But M drives baseline, a great move baseline, and kind of an excuse me foul by Katie Monroe, who was the guilty party. Her second. 15 foul and a half on Los Altos, but a great job by M. After a shaky start off the bench, she has really given the last 2 or 3 quality minutes. Offensive rebound off a missed free throw. And getting it to go down is Pranuthi Kenaganti. What an excellent job on the offensive boards. Here's now Monroe for 3, way off the back rim. Rebound Denthoven. Now Monroe will try to do 2, around it out, no good. Rebound loose, out of bounds. It will be Matador basketball, down by 4 with 4:56 left, second quarter. Correction, it's not Kenaganti that scored that last hoop. It was Hannah Pollock in for the first time. So Pollock gets the bucket. Her first 2 points of the game, just checking in. But again, rebound off a missed free throw cannot happen in a game of basketball if you're the defensive team. Foul, pass deflected comes to K. She stepped out of bounds. Turnover Matadors. They're 8th of the half, and it's amazing with those 8 turnovers, they're only down 4. 16-12 with 4:43 left in the first half. 9 fouls, 15 combined turnovers, 6 combined jump balls, and just 28 combined points. Monroe over to Anthoven. Cross court to Hamamoto. Andrews. Cross court, Hamamoto. Make that Monroe. Now Anthoven, the jumper, goes down for Megan Anthoven, who's played a whale of the first half. Into the front court goes M. M pounding the dribble. M still losing it. Now Kenaganti to rescue. Feeds Pollock, who had it poked away. Now Andrews up ahead to Monroe. Layup good. Halfway gone by in this first half. It's 20-12. Timeout Matadors. Each team now left with 4 for the game. 3:53 left second quarter. And you'll see off the turnover, Andrews does a great job of head manning up at Monroe, who laid it up the easy layup. And the last 4 scored by Los Altos to double their lead from 4 up to 8, 20-12. 3:53 left first half, and thanks to the Palo Alto Medical Foundation for their continued support of KMVT's high school sports coverage. A game that boasts one undefeated team, the home team Los Altos Eagles, against another undefeated team, the Vista Matadors from Cupertino, California. Down by 8 are Vista. The margin was 10 at the end of a quarter. Christina Jennings inbound with M, Kanaganti, Pollack, and K on the court. Around a screen is M. Now poked away and a foul is called by Andrews. As M gets fouled, it's the 5th team foul on Los Altos. Each team now with 5 team fouls in the half. 3:43 left in the half. Checking in for the first time, or returning to the game is Rentalin, and she replaces Christina Jennings. Make that Stephanie Jennings. Kanaganti to inbound. Gets it into K. K pump fakes. Drives, had it poked away and stolen. Enthelven over to Hamamoto. Bounces it to Andrews. Last foul was on Andrews, her first. Hamamoto into the front court. Stopped. Over to Andrews. Andrews. Now it's swung around, poked away and stolen. Loose on the floor, and we have a foul called. Foul is called on Meg Enthelven after the turnover. And Monroe takes a seat. Actually, that was on Katie Monroe, 1-3, not just number 3. So that's the 3rd on Monroe, and the 6th foul on Los Altos, so Monta Vista will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Into the front court goes M. And pounding the dribble, stops. Bouncing it high post to Pollock. Pollock splits the double team, and it goes out of bounds off of Pollock. It will stay with the Eagles. But, I mean, this first half has had 0 flow to it. No other way to put it. There's Andrews. Cross court to Enthelven. Good ball movement inside to McDermott, who lays it in. Lead back up to 10. This matches the largest lead of the game. 22-12 now. Front court goes in. And dribbles it off her foot out of bounds. And it will be Los Altos basketball. We'll see off this replay. A great pass. You didn't really see it down there, but great ball movement to beat pressure. Fastest way to beat pressure is with ball movement, not dribbles. And Los Altos put it on display there. Into the front court goes Hamamoto. Hamamoto pounding the dribble, bouncing it over to Andrews. Andrews stops, cross court to Meso. Open for 3, back iron miss. Rebound by Pollock, strong rebound inside. And a great defensive rebounding job by Pollock that time. Here's Jennings, cross court to M. M inside, gets hacked, no call. I couldn't believe there was a foul there, but then throwing it away was Meso. Kanaganti misses the layup though. And Meso the rebound. Hamamoto up ahead to Enthelven, who loses it and saves it. Almost going out of bounds, but right to him. Up ahead to Pollock. Back to Jennings into the front court. Jennings stops. Wants to slow things down, approaching 2 minutes left. Cross court is in to Kanaganti for 3. Short. The front Jennings flies in for the rebound, and we have a foul called that will result in free throws for Monta Vista. Foul will be on Megan McDermott. It should be the 17 foul, so it should be free throws. I don't know what they're doing taking it out of bounds. Yeah, it's going to be 1-on-1 for McDermott. Picked up the foul. #17 foul, first on McDermott. Pollock thought she was exiting. Instead, it's Kay that exits, and Stephanie Jennings returns. It's Christina Jennings at the line, shooting 1-1. First free throw, rounded out, no good. Rebounded by Enthelven. But a steal by Kanaganti, and she was out of bounds. So another near turnover, but it goes back over to Los Altos, who leads by 10, 22-12. 2:01 left in the first half. Hamamoto gets the inbound pass, and she brings it up. In the front court goes McDermott, and she had the ball nearly stolen, but once again, Kanaganti was out of bounds. Checking in for the first time is Kendall Ing. She replaces Meso, who checks out. Andrews will inbound with 1:51 left in the half. There shouldn't be a reset of the shot clock. That's the issue here. Ball never hit the rim. I don't even think there was a shot really taken. Andrews has a laugh with one of the referees. Now we'll inbound the pass. Lobs it into Hamamoto, pump fakes. Over to Andrews. Andrews cross court to Hamamoto. Back to Andrews, who pulls up for three. Around and out, no good. Enthelven, the offensive board, out to Hamamoto. Swings it over to Ing. Ing back to Hamamoto, open for three. Back iron miss. Rebound tipped around. It is loose underneath. Enthelven to the floor. Here's Andrews. Cross court, Enthelven tried to feed inside. McDermott, who gets fouled. Good pass by Enthelven, though. McDermott will be at the line to try to give Los Altos their largest advantage of the game. Well, they had 2-3 offensive rebounds on the play, and that just is killing the Matadors right now, along with the fouling, as McDermott clearly got clubbed there. But the second and third opportunities is where Los Altos got points out of on that opportunity. McDermott makes the first, 23-12 Los Altos, 16 foul that time on the Matadors. Second free throw. It's up and good. Sounded like we were at a golf match before that free throw was taken. It was dead silent. Inside to Pollock, who goes up and scores it off glass with the right hand for Hannah Pollock. And lead back down to 10. Here's Andrews against the full guard. Pressure had it poked away, nearly stolen. Ing inside to McDermott. No, but she was fouled, and McDermott will be back at the line shooting two. Foul that time will be on Pollock. The 17th foul against the Matadors. For Pollock, it's her first. Two free throws here for McDermott. That's good. 25-14, River Los Altos. Enthelven returns. Sitting down with Ing. Good on the second free throw. Making them both as McDermott. She's now 4 for 4 at the line. 1:05 and counting left. Into the front court. Down by 12. Big minute stretch here for the Matadors. Driving is steps back, what a move, but missed the finish from 5 feet away, and McDermott rebounds. Back comes Andrews, over to McDermott. Let's see if we can go a minute straight without a whistle. McDermott, Hamamoto, back to McDermott. Bouncing it to Enthelven, inside of McDermott, poked away, stolen, almost stolen actually, McDermott with it. McDermott ripping through, and of course we have a whistle before the half ends. And we have, I think, a timeout called. But here's what a move. That's as good as it gets. That's a pro-level ball handling from Ku Yim, as she just, without fouling, got rid of Andrews, but problem with that play is that it didn't result in a finish. And with 35.2 seconds left in the first half, 11 to shoot for Los Altos after the timeout. 3 timeouts left for the Eagles, 4 for Monta Vista. 26-14 our score.
As a busy mom of 3 kids, I find it extremely convenient to access My Health Online. My Health Online's messaging service allows me to keep in close contact with our doctor.
Being able to email the doctor with questions gave us assurance that they do take an interest in the patients. That's why we've been with Penn for more than 10 years. And
here, 30 seconds and counting left, as there's a scramble on the floor. And a jump ball is called, the 7th of the game. Possession of this time will give it to Los Altos, but there's 2 to shoot. 26.1 left, first half, 26-14 in favor of Los Altos. This matches their largest lead of the game. And the inbound goes into the backcourt. Shot clock violation or over and back, you pick. And Monta Vista will have the ball and an opportunity to hold for the final shot as we have more conferencing at the scorer's table. 21.3 left, and yeah, it's definitely a shot clock violation. No time down that court did the shot ever hit the rim. And I don't think the ball was ever touched, so they should get it back where they pointed. Maybe if the ball wasn't touched, they should have gone underneath their own baseline, but they're saying the ball was touched. So they get it sideline out of bounds, into the front court, under 20 seconds to go. In the first half, Kaneganti, left corner, inside to Pollock, goes up, misses, rebound, inside McDermott, 10 seconds to go. Hamamoto over to Andrews. Andrews at 7. Andrews over to McDermott all the way, layup off glass, no, rebound deflected, comes to Enthoven, way off halftime. So a very sloppy at times and unmomentum-filled first half. I think that's the best way of putting it, and we have reached halftime with the score. Los Altos 26, Monta Vista 14.
As a busy mom of 3 kids, I find it extremely convenient to access My Health Online. My Health Online's messaging service allows me to keep in close contact with our doctor.
Being able to email the doctor with questions gave us assurance that they do take an interest in the patients. That's why we've been with PEN for more than 10 years and keep adding members, the newest member.
KMVT15 Silicon Valley Media is a nonprofit community media and television station that has been serving the community since 1982. Each year, KMVT trains hundreds of adults and youth in video production, claymation, field production, and digital literacy. In 2012, we launched a $500,000 Go Digital Capital campaign to begin upgrading our analog equipment to digital. This would allow us to stay current with the technologies that folks utilize in their everyday lives. We want to thank the City of Los Altos, Cupertino, and our volunteers for supporting our digital campaign. In doing so, last year we raised over $125,000, which allowed us to begin crucial upgrades to our studio. Our first upgrades began with a brand new control room and a digital switcher. The digital switcher allows us to provide green screen opportunities, live interactive productions utilizing Google Hangouts and Skype, and to stream live to YouTube and Ustream. The monies raised also allowed us to put the same switcher into our production truck that allows us to provide full coverage of local sports with a 3-camera replay system. Our other large investment was a full digital playback system. The system allows producers to submit digital files from home. We can run the channel for a full 24 hours. We also are streaming on peg.tv through Roku. This offers our producers a much wider distribution platform to a much larger audience. All of this has been made possible in the last year with your donations. As our campaign continues, we need to upgrade the rest of our equipment to high definition. The next purchases will be cameras, lights, and audio gear. Please support KMVT15 in raising its next round of funding to complete its Go Digital Capital campaign. Thank you again to our supporters for understanding the importance of these upgrades. By investing in KMVT15, you are enabling us to provide low-cost training, new technologies, and a community voice. Again, we thank you for your support. Donate today.
Welcome back to Los Altos High School, everyone. I am Andrew Ferry. Glad you could be with us tonight. Starting the second half, Matadors open up in a 2-3 zone. 26-14 Los Altos the score. And here's Zing. Outside Hamamoto, a 3, way off the mark, and rebound to Roundelin. Same 5 starters on the court for the Matadors as we begin the second half. Here is Kay. Kay pounding the dribble over to Kaneganti. Kaneganti had her pass nearly stolen, in with it, and had it poked away, gets it back, looking, her pass then stolen. Up ahead, here's Zing, all the way, layup, no good, she missed it. McDermott the rebound, no good. And rebound to Pollock. Back comes the Matadors. In the front court goes M. M pounding the dribble, ending off to Kaneganti. Kaneganti Hands off to Kay. Kay's pass deflected, almost stolen, and it's loose and comes to Enthoven. Enthoven pushing all the way. Layup good for Meg Enthoven. Lead has been increased to 14. Here's M to Rentelen. Rentelen pump fakes all the way. Layup around it down for Kaiser Rentelen. 28-16 Andrews outside to Hamamoto. Back to Andrews. 3 of the 5 starters that started the game start second half for Los Altos, and there's a traveling violation called on Andrews. 6.5 minutes left, third quarter. Into the front court. Goes in, over to Kaneganti. Kaneganti inside to Rentelen, turnaround baseline jumper, back iron miss. And rebound to Andrews. Andrews up ahead on bad pass, but Eng tracks it down over to Hamamoto, pump fakes. Goes up and gets blocked. She should have taken the first shot, but stick-to-itiveness gets it to go off glass for Kelly Hamamoto. Into the front court goes in, 30-16 the score. M all the way, no good, off glass. And rebound to McDermott. Bouncing it to Hamamoto. Hamamoto into the front court to Andrews. Andrews stops, feeds Enthoven, good pass to McDermott, then it squeaks to Ing inside to Enthoven, good pass to McDermott, goes up, gets blocked by Pollock, her second of the quarter, and then the ball deflected by Andrews and called for a foul, but already in the first 2 minutes, 23 seconds of the quarter, we've had better flow than the entire first half put together. Hamamoto, you see, she should have gone up initially when she was open. By dribbling it, she made it a much more difficult shot, had it blocked, but then the awareness to get it back and score it. Great bucket there for Hamamoto. Last foul was on Andrews, her second. And the pass goes through Pollock's hand, stolen. There's Hamamoto back the other way. All the way, gets whacked by Kaneganti, and she'll be at the line shooting 2. And a foul is called on number 33 for Monta Vista Kaneganti, but that was poor transition defense. No one getting back for the Matadors, and Kaneganti's only choice, other than giving up the layup, was to clobber Hamamoto like she did. First free throw's no good. She'll get the bonus, the second though. Hamamoto missed the first. Los Altos shot very well at the line, even with that miss. Not so much for the Matadors. And the free throw no good off rim, and it's loose to Rentelen, who gets it overhead to Kay. Now here are the Matadors coming back, down by 14. M tried to drive baseline, steps back over to Rentelen. Rentelen in the paint all the way, floats one up, no good. Rebound to Pollock, goes up short. Rebound loose, Rentelen has it, and then gets bear hugged. Foul's going to be on Enthoven, I believe, with 5:06 left in the third quarter. Rachel Glein returns now for the game, replacing Enthoven, who just picked up her second foul. Here's the inbound. Good pass inside to Pollock, and she had it squared away. But it comes to Kay. Over to M. She had to go through her hands. M with it. Bouncing it, goes through that hand. Somehow to Pollock, who goes up and gets fouled. That is the ugliest possession that winds up in something good I have ever seen in my entire life. See, went through one hand, and then goes through another set of hands, and then somehow winds up in Pollock's hands, and bad defense by Hamamoto just clubbing Pollock. Short. And Pollock will get the second free throw. 4:53 left, but I've never seen a possession quite like the last one we just saw. And back iron miss, she misses both. Matadors 1 for 3, or make that 1 for 8 at the line today. Here's McDermott over to Hamamoto, the jumper short. And rebound it loose underneath. A foul is going to be called as Pollock had the rebound. I believe it's going to be a Los Altos foul. It's going to be on Megan McDermott. So McDermott picks up the foul. Her second, 14th foul already in the half. And we have 4:40 left, third quarter. Into the front court goes M. M pounding the dribble. M over to Kenaganti in the corner. Lobs it for Rentalen, and she had to go through her hands. Stolen by McDermott. Goes over to Andrews. Andrews crosses over to the front court. Andrews over to McDermott. Pump fakes. McDermott in the paint all the way. Floats one up. Back iron miss. Rebound loose. Deflected out off of Glane. It will stay with the Eagles. Kendall Eng will inbound. Eng looks and tried to feed Glane. It's taken away. Bad inbound pass. Pollock the steal. Coming up ahead is M. M into the front court. M pounding the dribble, stops and carries the ball. Good call by the official. So another turnover. And we go back to Los Altos. Timeout called by Monta Vista. KMVT thanks our sponsor, the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, for bringing you this season of high school sports coverage. Choose your PAMP doctor today. It's a full timeout for the Matadors, and we'll step aside. 4:07 left third quarter, 30-16 Los Altos.
I was at a fire department training, and I had these shooting pains when they just shot right up into my temples. I went to Palo Alto Medical to follow up with my doctor. He found a heart murmur. It turned out to be an aortic aneurysm, which would have killed me had he not caught it.
I don't really like going to the doctor, but I truly like going and seeing the guy. He's a great doctor, and he saved my life.
.407 left third quarter. It is 30-16 in favor of Los Altos. And this game has been a very sloppy contest, to say the least. A lot of whistles. A lot of fouls. A lot of jump balls. A lot of turnovers. And some scoring in the middle. A lot of missed layups. Into the front court goes Hamamoto. Now I'm sounding like a broken record. Hamamoto has it out top. Eng over to McDermott. In the corner, over to Andrews. Andrews cross court. It swung around to Eng, and her pass deflected and stolen. Here's Kay with the steal. Gets it up ahead. Into the front court goes M. M tried to bounce Pollock, another turnover. Sarah Borelli cannot believe it, the Monta Vista head coach. She is in disbelief. As am I. 30-16 the score. This is a 14-4 game at the end of a quarter, Los Altos. And with 28-16 at half. They've outscored Monta Vista in every quarter thus far. Hamamoto over to Meso. Meso cross court to Andrews. Now over to Hamamoto, a deep three. Back iron miss. Rebound loose inside, comes to Yee. Gets it over to M. M jogs it into the front court. M over to Kenaganti in the corner. Back to M. M pounding the dribble. M pounding the dribble. That sounds like impounding. M had it poked away. Now to the floor, over to Yee for three. A sloppy, ugly possession. M held it for about 20 seconds and then a missed three. Hamamoto, layup good. They've doubled up Monta Vista now, 32-16. M back the other way. 2:45 and counting left. Pounding the dribble and gets it stolen again. Another turnover, and ever since Yee went out, that is Jackie L. Yee. Monta Vista has not secured the basketball at all. The backup point guard has given them nothing, although M steals it there. Hamamoto, the bad pass. 2:20 and counting left in the quarter. Pounding the dribble is M. M bouncing the ball around a screen. M at the top of the foul key. Looks. And a foul's called. On Los Altos, already their fifth team foul in the half. Monta Vista's been called for one. But part of the reason of that, Monta Vista, or rather Los Altos, seemingly every possession has had a fast break opportunity. And fast break opportunities, obviously, you're not going to have very many chances to foul the opposing team. Certainly if it's all uncontested. Monroe returns with her 3 fouls. Andrews sits with her 2. And Yee inbound, gets it in Rentalen. Bouncing it over to M, and she had it poked away and stolen. claimed the steal this time in the last 120 seconds of the third quarter. Mesa into the front court, lobbed it. That pass deflected out of bounds, and I don't know what she saw that made her think Monroe was open, because she was clearly not. It was like taking candy from a baby. Monroe will inbound. McDermott back to Monroe. Lobs it out against the zone to Hamamoto. High post to McDermott. Mesa the long two air ball, and that's out of bounds. This has been the lowest scoring quarter of the game, and unless something dramatically happens in the last buck 45, it will be the lowest scoring quarter of the game. Pollock, a good feed from Kanaganti, and she lays it in. 32-18 the score, minute 35 and counting left, third quarter. Hamamoto into the front court, gets it to Monroe. Monroe pounding the dribble. Monroe looks, over to McDermott. McDermott outside. McDermott stops, pounds it inside to Monroe, out of block by Pollock. Into the front court, the pass is deflected out of bounds. And it will be Monta Vista basketball. We have had 10 combined points in the quarter. Into the front, you'll see M with the ball, passes to Kanaganti, and that time, that was a great entry feed. She saw the hoop, or saw the player she was trying to get the ball to, and got it to her right on time. But then they throw it away on the next possession, getting the steal. In this quarter, it's been 6 points for Los Altos, 4 from Monta Vista. In fact, Monta Vista has more turnovers than points in the quarter, 5-4. 3, no good by Hamamoto, and the rebound deflected to M. M will push. M stops. Now we'll back it out. 48 seconds left in the quarter. Rentelin drives, floats, no good. And gets it back, shoves one up, no good. Deflected out of bounds. It will be Los Altos basketball with 41.3 left. Los Altos, in fact, has even turnovers and points in the quarter thus far. 6 and 6. 41.3 left. There's about a 11-second difference. Shot and game clock. Here's Hamamoto. Hamamoto back to Meso, and she has fouled just the second and a half, though. Monta Vista. Kanaganti is the guilty party. She's unsure of what she did wrong there, but there was a lot she did wrong. There was definitely a lot she did wrong in that last play. That's why it was an obvious foul. As checking in for the first time is Krithika Rao, a 5'8" junior forward from Cupertino, wearing number 44. Here's Hamamoto on the 30 seconds to play, and she throws it away. Unforced errors, that's the theme of the night. Yi will inbound, and M controls. M drives baseline with 20 seconds left. M into the corner, bad place to catch it. And we have a foul called. 16th foul in the quarter. In the NBA, we'd be shooting free throws by now. And they're pointing Los Altos basketball. I thought they called a foul. Monta Vista definitely had the ball. No, they pointed the wrong way. And it will be Monta Vista ball. 15.7 left. And here's E inbound. E bounces into Kanaganti. They fall down, and it's a jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to Los Altos for the final 15.2. Meso will trigger. Hamamoto has the ball. Lobs it to Monroe. Monroe looks. Monroe in trouble. Finds McDermott with 8. Back to Monroe. Monroe back to McDermott. McDermott triple teamed and gets fouled. 14th foul on Monta Vista. Still no free throws. 2.5 seconds left. Monroe will inbound. Monroe looks. Looks fine. Hamamoto's left all alone. Deep 2. Back iron miss. Quarter ends. So in that quarter, we had 10 combined points. 6 for Los Altos, 4 for Monta Vista. Turnovers that quarter were 7 for Monta Vista, 7 for Los Altos. And after 3, it's 32-18 Eagles.
KMVT15 is your community media center. We are here to provide hands-on training, equipment, and resources to you to express your voice over many distribution platforms. So when you think of KMVT15, remember we have a full production facility, production truck, and an award-winning staff here to support your needs.
Back here at Los Altos for the final quarter of basketball. Monta Vista is going to need to play their best quarter yet to come out with a victory. They're down by 14 and have the ball. 32-18 the score. In the front court goes Jennings. Jennings spins, fires up a brick, and rebound by Glane. Christina Jennings did everything except finish with 2 points. Samamoto against Token full court pressure after the miss. Gets it to McDermott. McDermott feeds cross court to Monroe. A deep two, short. Off the front rim and rebounded by Stephanie Jennings. Make that Christina Jennings. And she throws it away. Glane the steal. Over to McDermott. Over to Hamamoto. Cross court to Monroe. Monroe out top to Hamamoto. Back to Monroe. Monroe pounding the dribble. Feeds. Floater for McDermott. Goes down. She has now 13 points and it's 34-18. M into the front court. Hands off to Christina Jennings. Jennings pounding the dribble. Left and over. Spins in the paint all the way. Goes up, gets hacked. She'll be at the line shooting 2 with 6:57 left. Stephanie Jennings doing some good work beneath the hoop. This game is brought to you with help from our presenting sponsor, the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, a Sutter Health affiliate. Choose your PAMF doctor today. Foul was called on Hamamoto, her third. 7th team foul in the half. Scoreboard says 6, but they had 6 in that third quarter. Unless that last foul was called a jump ball, and they gave it to Monta Vista, but Monta Vista started the quarter with the ball on the possession arrow. There's Jennings, who makes both. They're now 3 for 10 at the line. 34-20 Los Altos. Into the front court goes Monroe. Or make that Hamamoto. Now McDermott. McDermott pounding the dribble back to Hamamoto. Over to Monroe in the corner. Monroe pounding the dribble. Outside Enthoven. Swung around Hamamoto. Ball deflected. Comes to McDermott who lays it in. 36-20. Into the front court goes Jennings. Jennings pounding the dribble, going one-on-one again. I don't think she's passed the quarter. Now she has to her sister. Christina Jennings. Jennings around the screen to her left, and getting clobbered was Enthoven. Getting called for the foul was Stephanie Jennings. Let's see if this is actually an illegal screen. It was definitely a hard screen, but was it illegal? Ooh, yeah, it was. Just at the end. She was fine until she extended those arms a little bit and got fouled. Or committed the foul, rather. Hamamoto into the front court, approaching 6 minutes left. Here's Enthoven, and her pass was behind Hamamoto. Over to Monroe. Monroe pounding the dribble. Monroe stops, swung around. There's now Hamamoto. Hamamoto to Glane. Glane to Enthoven for 3. Back iron miss. And it batted around, coming to Jennings. Now gets it over to her sister. Jennings excited to be in the front court, and then she loses it. Turnover Matadors, it will be 36-20, 5:44 left in the game. Hamamoto has it in the front court. Pounding the dribble is Hamamoto. Over to Monroe. Enthoven back to Monroe. Over to Hamamoto for 3. Short. Rebound deflected around. Hamamoto has it again. I think Los Altos could win this game if they just took 30 seconds off every possession, even if they didn't score the rest of the game. Here's Glane. Over to Enthoven. Now they're working the ball around, taking time off the clock, which time is now their best friend, up 16 with almost 5 minutes left. Here's Monroe driving baseline, gets tripped. Looked like that was a little bit of an intentional foul by Christina Jennings. It'll be Los Altos ball out of bounds with 5:11 left. Jacqueline Brody has to be a happy camper over on Los Altos bench there at coach. Hasn't always been pretty, but it looks like they're well on their way to win their 11th in a row. Inbounding it is Monroe. Gets it into Glane. Glane out top. A good catch by Enthoven. Back to Monroe. Shot clock reset for that foul, and another foul is called. This time the 16th foul on the Matadors. It's on Pollock. Anna Pollock with the foul. Los Altos ball again out of bounds. Her second for Pollock. Inbounding it is Monroe. Monroe looks, gets it into Enthoven, open three. Too strong, and rebound secured underneath by Jennings. So Christina Jennings goes into the front court. Around a screen, and both players collide, and we have another foul. They're saying the foul's on Enthoven, her third. 17th foul on Los Altos, so it should be free throws. It's going to be a 1-on-1. We're shooting free throws the final 4:53 of the game, both ways. 1-on-1 here for Anna Pollock. Now the referees are having a conference, not sure what about, conversing on who the foul was on, I believe. Now they're changing it to Hamamoto. I didn't see that one. Huh. That perplexed me. Free throw rims out for Pollock, no good, and rebound to McDermott. I still have no idea how Hamamoto was involved with that last play in which she picked up the foul. But anyhow, Hamamoto is over to Monroe to Enthoven. I gotta say though, I'm pretty vexed by the last call. Here's Glane, who gets fouled. As Kaneganti is upset about something, I'm not sure what. Hamamoto, I bet, is pretty nonplussed by that last foul call. Glane at the line to shoot a 1-on-1, or maybe two. Yeah, she was in the act of shooting. It's 4:34. You know when I'm incorporating synonyms into my broadcasting that it's been a pretty, not really uneventful. I'm trying to look for the correct word. Non-momentum filled game. A lot of stoppages. That's the best way of expressing it. Here's him into the front court. Down, approaching 4 minutes. 37-20 our score. Lobbing it in to Rantolin. Outside, Jennings the three. Back iron miss. Rebound secured by Los Altos. A good rebound down low by Enthoven. Jogging it in the front court goes Hamamoto. As Brody calls out the play. More screams out the play. Here Glane passes behind her. She gets it back. Almost gets fouled. No call. Block from the Matadors. 4 minutes left. And jogging it into the front court was Jennings. Stops, looks. Outside, open three. Way too less. And the ball out of bounds to the Matadors. Good hustle that time by Stephanie Jennings to save it off of Enthoven. Inbound goes to Jennings. Jennings back to Kaneganti for three. Good! For Kaneganti, they're calling a deep two, so 15-point game. Hamamoto over to McDermott. McDermott nearly loses it, almost double dribbled. Now over to Enthoven. Now they want to work some clock. Hamamoto, high post, McDermott. Monroe, a jumper, good! This is the best flow we've had to this game all game. Into the front court goes M. M pounding the dribble. 3:15 left. M looks and spins and doesn't win. At least not yet. Rantolin had it strapped. Jump ball. Monroe tied it up. And it'll be Los Altos basketball with 3:08 left. Here's the Jennings replay as she was bringing it up and then gets fouled. Here's Monroe, who inbounds, and a timeout caller will be a full timeout for Los Altos. We'll take it with them. 3:08 left, fourth quarter. 39-23, favor Los Altos. 3:08 left in the quarter. Here's the replay of the three that was last put in by the Matadors. You see, the most dangerous person on an inbound play is the inbounder, in fact, because they're not always careful into where she lines up. And that was the case that time for Los Altos. Kanaganti hit the three, and it's a 16-point game right now, 39-23. Against full court pressure, Los Altos with the ball. And a 16-point lead. Hamamoto in the front court, under 3 minutes to go now in the game. There's Monroe. Lobs it over to Enthoven. Back to Hamamoto. Hamamoto rips through, out to Monroe in the left wing. Monroe pounding the dribble out to Enthoven. Swung around to Monroe. We'll make that Hamamoto. Now Enthoven. Back to Hamamoto. To Monroe. Now inside to McDermott, who spins against a double team. Pass out, deflected. Comes to Monroe. Fires a wild shot. Shot clock violation. She shot put it. It looked like she was in a track and field meet. I must say, we've seen a little bit of everything in this game. Holy cow. 2.5 to go, 39-23. But you got to say that it was a positive possession for Los Altos in the fact that they took 30 seconds off the clock. Ball deflected out of bounds. It will stay with the Matadors. 2:26 left, 17 fouls apiece in the half. Jackie K. Yi returns now, placing Ku Yi in. Inbound here, coming from Kanaganti, number 33. Gets it in to Jennings. Jennings pass, deflected twice, I believe, off of Rontalin. It will stay with the Los Altos. And now they're going to have another conference. Looked to me like it was off Rontalin, and it should be Los Altos basketball. This has seemed like, and now they're going to say it is Los Altos basketball, which I do believe is the correct call. I haven't seen a replay of that yet, but on first glance, it did look like it was off of Rontalin. There's Enthoven, over to Glain, back to Enthoven. Enthoven pounding the dribble across court to Monroe. Monroe, high post to Glain. Glain outside, there's Hamamoto. Hamamoto to McDermott. Doing a nice job of taking time out the clock. Hamamoto to Monroe. 6 to shoot now, though. They better get going. Monroe forces up a wild shot. No fouls called. A lot of contact down there, and rebound to Jennings. Jennings back the other way. Over to Kanaganti for 3. Air ball. And inside, Hamamoto blocks Yi. Jump ball will be called. Very quick whistle on that jump ball. The 9th of the game. And the possession arrow gives it to the Matadors. Kanaganti, though, wide open. I think after the first shot, they would guard her more carefully, but that time it's an air ball. Inbound goes to Rontalin. Rontalin, hands off, open 3, air ball again. Rebound deflected out off of Enthoven. This will be Matador basketball. 1:42 left. 15 on the shot clock now for the Matadors. Inbounding it is Yi, and her pass stolen. Great read by Hamamoto! Missed the layup, but gets her own rebound. Maybe the best thing for her. Now bodies collide, out of bounds off of Kanaganti. It will stay with Los Altos. I said maybe best thing for Los Altos because they would have gotten 2 more points had it been made, but they would have only taken a couple seconds off the clock instead of now a full 30. Inbound to Enthoven, though, she takes a quick trigger 3, not a good shot. Glain, the rebound goes up, not a good shot, but gets fouled. And the reason I'm saying not a good shot is it'd be prudent of them to take more time off and limit the possessions in this game. Enthoven with the wide open 3, but missed it. Glain, the offensive rebound. Can't really argue with the result. She did get fouled, but they only took about 8 seconds off the clock that possession. Glain rims in the first free throw. 4th foul there on Stephanie Jennings, 8th team foul in the half. 40-23 Los Altos now. It appears for all intents and purposes like Monta Vista will fall to 2-1 in league play after tonight, and their brief 2-game winning streak will be over. Los Altos will improve to 4-0 in conference play and really have a stranglehold on the league this early season going. 11 in a row after this win. As getting some bench players in now, checking in for the first time is Maliko Catarali for Los Altos. Malika Catarali getting some rare minutes. Final minute 20 of the game. M driving, M stopping, and another foul is called. This time on Kelly Hamamoto, who says, yeah, that was me. And I was like, yep, I know that was you. A minute 19 left, 18 foul in Los Altos. And M will be at the line shooting 1-on-1. For Hamamoto, it's her 4th foul, but with just a minute 19 left, not a real concern, at least not yet. Just 3 for 10 at the charity stripe, though, for the Matadors. If they cut back like maybe just 4 or 5 turnovers they committed in this game and then made most of their free throws, they'd be right in this game right now. But missing the front end, and now 3 for 11 at the line are the Matadors. Here's McDermott in the front court, who's trying to push, but does this veteran senior move and pull it back out. Here's Monroe. Very senior-laden team this year for Jacqueline Brody. The foul's called. 18 foul. It will be 1-on-1 for Hamamoto. Foul's on Kuyi-In. For M, it's just her first foul. 19 foul. Checking in for the first time now is Funo Helms. So Helms wearing number 5. Hamamoto's front end, back iron miss, rebound to Runtelin. Runtelin has it, gets it over to Jennings, under a minute to go. Jennings into the front court, pulls up for a deep 3, back iron miss, and rebound long, tracked down by Kay, gets it inside to Runtelin. Runtelin pounding the dribble, pump fakes, looks. Out to Jennings for 3, air ball out of bounds. It will be Los Altos basketball. Los Altos basketball with just the 14.5-second difference shot on the game clock. As checking in for the first time is Michelle Wu for Los Altos, replacing Kelly Hamamoto. So it's Wu, Helms, Enthoven, Catarali, and McDermott. Catarali will inbound. Catarali lobs it into Enthoven, who gets it back to Catarali. Left-handed dribble into the front court. Stops, travels, no call. Gets harmed, no call. Jump ball on the floor, will stay with the Eagles. 37.2 left. 41-23, favor of the Eagles. Catarali will inbound. Bounces it to Helms, and it's over and back, and then goes out of bounds. It will stay, or make it out with Matadors. And now turnover for Los Altos. Checking in for the first time is Tiffany Wu, Michelle's brother. And Helms exits. I meant Michelle's sister. But anyhow, inbound to M. M, low to Rontelin. And off the back rim, no good. Tipped out off of Catarali. It will stay with the Matadors. 27.7 left. Shot clock turned off. Inbound to Jennings for 3. Back iron miss. Rebound skied 4 for Enthoven. That's a punctuation to this one for Los Altos. Still pressuring in the backcourt. Last touched by him. And it will stay with Los Altos. Still applying the full court pressure. Down by 18 with 21 seconds left. Chances don't look good in this one for the Matadors. Lob it, and that goes over everyone's head. Out of bounds. Will stay with the Matadors. 20.3 left. Because it didn't touch anyone, it goes back to the spot of the inbound. It will be Tiffany Wu guarding the inbound. Yee inbounds to Jennings. Pump fakes. Gets inside. Layup. Good. Rontelin still playing hard to finish out this one. Enthoven the inbound. 10 seconds left. There's Catarali. Had it poked away. Catarali picks it up. Catarali pokes it out of bounds. Still be Los Altos basketball with 4.5 seconds left. 41-25 is the score in favor of Los Altos. They led 14-4 at the end of the quarter. By 12 at halftime, now by 16. They've led by as many as 18. We have a foul on the inbound, so Michelle Wu will be at the line shooting a 1-on-1. That's the 19th foul on the Matadors. .8 seconds left. Just a meaningless foul, and all that could possibly do is change the final score of this game. Free throw's good. He'll get the bonus. Second foul that on Yim. Second free throw. Air ball. So first one was a swish, second one was an air ball. And it's 42-25. That looks to be the final score. They're rolling it into Jennings. Jennings picks it up with 2, with 1, fires out of bounds, game over. So Los Altos stays perfect in El Camino League standings with a 42-25 win over the Matadors. Coming up next for Los Altos, they head on the road and play Homestead, another high school from Cupertino. Homestead is currently 1-2 in league play and 3rd from the bottom. Tied with Santa Clara, though. For Monta Vista, they suffer their first league conference loss. They fall to 2-1. Their 2-game winning streak is over. And it's tough coming on here on the road at Los Altos. And they'll next host Fremont High School, who currently hasn't won a conference game. So an excellent opportunity for Monta Vista to start 3-1 in league play. Producer and director for tonight's game was Bobby Chastain. On cameras, Ted Melke, Dox Doxiadis, and Sherlyn Meacham. And special thanks to Los Altos High School for making this broadcast possible. Now for everyone here at KMVT, I'm Andrew Ferry saying so long from Los Altos High School. Once again, your final. The Eagles 42 and the Matadors 25.